Hi everybody, it's the Ruthless Jobber here. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 5 of the Invasion Angle on TEW 9. This is the night after Judgment Day. What a roller coaster that was. The Undertaker getting buried by Sting. Everyone thought he was going to be there to help the Undertaker and Kane, but no, he turned against all of his ideologies. He is a bad guy. We have turned Sting heel. But let's crack on with the Monday Night Raw following Judgment Day. Got a couple of pre-show matches first, and we kick off with Chris Benoit and X-Pac. Very pleased with the rating on this one, actually. Good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Chris Benoit defeated X-Pac in 10 minutes 25 by submission. Didn't really have sort of room for these guys on the main card, and yeah, just thought it'd be a really fun sort of pre-show match to have, really. 75 wrestling rating, 69 crowd, 77 overall. World Championship Wrestling, featuring Buff Bagwell and Canyon, take on Kai and Tai. Just wanted to get a couple of WCW guys on there, really. Get them sort of start wrestling a little bit more. But yeah, it's a pre-show. What do we get here? Buff Bagwell and Canyon defeated Kai and Tai in 12 minutes 32, when Buff Bagwell pinned Funaki. Funaki was the weak link, but we had a wrestling rating of 58, crowd at 49, overall 65. It's not an overall. It's not a bad overall score, really, compared to the two there. And Takumi Chinoku and Funaki showed excellent chemistry. Okay, that's good. One more pre-show match. Booker T. I need to sort out a picture for him. Okay, Booker T takes on Saturn. Yeah, we have got Booker T wrestling for the first time in the World Wrestling Federation ring. Decent pre-show match. Booker T defeated Perry Saturn in 12 minutes 35 by pinfall. Again, just get Booker on the card, get a WCW guy on there. 67 wrestling, crowd 67 as well, but overall 72, not too bad. Let's head into the main show then. Kane comes out to his usual, fire and brimstone and the red lighting, and he doesn't say much because he's not great on the mic, but he just he issues a challenge to Sting. Sting, I want you now. He doesn't need to say any more than that. Everyone knows why. Part 2, Ric Flair comes out and he says, I'm really sorry, Kane, but Sting is not in the arena tonight. He's not here. I don't know why. He wasn't scheduled for a match, so he hasn't turned up. He hasn't got an interview or anything. He's not here. But he anticipated that you might issue a challenge, and he sent you this message. And part 3 is a kind of satellite broadcast from Sting, just sort of cutting a promo on Kane. I thought you might want to challenge me, what I did for World Championship Wrestling. This isn't anything personal, but I'll tell you what, I will give you a match tonight, but you're going to face an opponent of my choosing. And then sort of Sting goes off camera or off the screen, and Scott Steiner appears, and he will be tonight's opponent against Kane. That's our main event, Kane against Scott Steiner. Overall rating for this angle, 82. Pleased with that. Dean Malenko takes on William Regal. Decent match. William Regal defeated Dean Malenko in 10 minutes 33 by submission after interference from Lance Storm. Lance Storm is currently kind of in a storyline with Dean Malenko. Sort of on Ric Flair's instruction, just kind of attacked Malenko completely unprovoked. Wrestling rating here was 60, crowd 62, and the segment overall 66. And that storyline there, following orders, basically Lance Storm was just following orders, and that's gained heat. We then got a backstage segment with Ric Flair, and he's sort of talking to the WCW guys, or most of them. I haven't put them all in the angle, but they're there, and he's just sort of saying, you all know what to do, you all know who your targets are. So it appears here that they've all kind of chosen who their target's going to be within the World Wrestling Federation. So, I mean, as I say, we already know Lance Storm kind of targeted Dean Malenko, and so but everyone's kind of got a target. We might see some more of that play out tonight. Rating for this was 60, a little bit disappointing, but I guess there's kind of not much star power apart from probably Nash, Ric Flair and Booker T, but I only had Flair talking this one. Everyone else just kind of there in non-talking roles. Al Snow takes on Rob Van Dam. Now this was a King of the Ring quarter-final, because our pay-per-view at the end of this month at the end of June it will be, is the King of the Ring. So, in a decent match, Rob Van Dam defeated Al Snow in 11 minutes 43 by pinfall. The match was designed to tell a specific story. Yeah, this is our storytelling match. We kind of wanted Rob Van Dam. He's probably not going to ring King of the Ring. I haven't quite decided yet. But I thought, let's get him in there. You know, a new guy. I'm kind of King of the Ring this year is going to be quite low level. There's a couple of stars in there, but it's going to be quite low level because I kind of want everyone else involved in the big storylines. But this got a 73 overall with a wrestling rating of 63 and 64 for the crowd. Backstage, we just got Steve Austin and Triple H just discussing that they managed to keep their titles last night. They're really happy with their business. They don't mention the fact that Sting had to help Steve Austin keep the world championship. But to be honest, we didn't really have anything else for these guys. Now they probably are certainly Steve Austin's our biggest star really, but I've not put them in an invasion storyline yet. And the reason being is that they're both heels, and so are all of the WCW guys. I will put them in some sort of storyline. It will be heel versus heel, but so be it. I just don't know where yet. I don't know where it kind of all fits at the moment. But I will kind of get to that because I think the WCW guys at the moment they're not looking at the championship. They're not looking at the WWF championship yet. They're trying to just get a foothold on the WWF, and then maybe they kind of look to next stage. We want some of their gold. Rating of 75 here. The Dudley Boys take on the Brooklyn Brawler and Val Venus. We desperately need more jobbers, actually, or just certainly more tag teams overall. But it was an extremely short match. The Dudley Boys defeated the Brooklyn Brawler and Val Venus in 5 minutes 6 seconds. And Devon Dudley pinned the Brooklyn Brawler. Brawler was the weak link, unfortunately. I guess someone had to be. 50 rating for the wrestling, 49 for the crowd, 46 overall. Yeah, nothing special. I didn't really expect it, though, if I'm honest. Post-match, Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Haire attack the Dudley Boys. So that's obviously their targets. They are going for the Dudleys. Yeah, that's kind of... we have done a little bit on this storyline already. Unfortunately, it lost heat with this particular segment. Getting a rating of 53. I think really, you need kind of a little bit of star power in each of these storylines, which we do have in this one, but just didn't want to kind of use that at the moment. Albert takes on Rikishi. We're just trying to get some more of our well-known and recognisable guys over, and I do really have a soft spot for Albert. I think he was so underused back in the day and underrated. I thought he was a great talent. Probably a really good solid mid-carder actually, but I think he could have gone on to do a lot more. So he gets the win here. It was a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, and he won in 13 minutes 48 by pinfall. So 51 wrestling rating, 61 crowd rating, and the overall rating was 56. Chris Jericho cut a self-promo, just sort of working the crowd, talking about, he managed to beat William Regal last night at Judgment Day, and it's just a bit of a self-promo, but then he is attacked from behind by Kevin Nash, and this is what Ric Flair was talking about. You know who your targets are. So Kevin Nash's target was obviously Chris Jericho. Comes in, attacks him. Yes, of course, it's starting a storyline. Thought I'd pair these two together for a bit of a program. Overall rating here is 75. Edge and Christian take on the Hollies. These are two heel teams actually up against each other. Yeah, again, kind of didn't really have a jobber team for them to go up against. We haven't got many face jobbers. So my task after this show really is just to sign a few more jobbers, and if I can get proper tag teams, I'll be quite pleased. But I'm going to have a look, see what's out there, and just make a few signings. So we had a decent reaction from the crowd, subpar wrestling. Edge and Christian got the win in 5 minutes 48. Edge forced Crash Holly to submit, and this was a high spots match. 51 wrestling rating, 56 crowd, and 60 overall. Gene Okerlund interviews Kurt Angle, and it's just a bit of a self-promo. I don't know why this did so poorly. 59 rating, disappointed with that. But it's Kurt Angle just talking about the King of the Ring. I'm the defending champion. I'm the current king, and I'll be, entering the King of the Ring, obviously, to try and keep that particular honour. Just a self-promo, get Kurt Angle on the card. The Big Show takes on Raven in a decent match. Big Show defeated Raven in 7 minutes 4 seconds by pinfall. 65 wrestling, 69 crowd, 63 overall. This isn't a great show so far, I've got to be completely honest. But as with most saves on TEW, it takes a few months to kind of get going. You get a feel for your roster and who's going to work with who. Storylines might take a while to sort of build up, and then obviously the more sort of major stars you build, things get a bit better. My WCW save is certainly proof of that. But yeah, Big Show getting the win here. And then post match, Booker T comes out and he just cuts a promo on the Big Show. He's not attacking him or anything like that. He's not that stupid just yet. But he's cutting a promo on the Big Show. You know, I am the current WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and you know whatever that means at the moment, there kind of is no WCW really. We might somewhere along the line have their belts competed for, but not quite yet. And yeah, just you know, I'm here now, and I want to sort of prove myself that I can take the top dogs down. I beat everyone in the WCW, and now I'm after a real big scalp in the WWF. Big Show, that's going to be you. So possibly a little bit deluded, but he really believes in himself, and he really thinks he can do this. 72 rating. The storyline gained heat. We used a storyline idea on this one, which was a success. Obviously, really helped. And the main event gets an 81. Yeah, I'm happy with that. The rest of the show has probably let it down a little bit, but Kane against Scott Steiner in a bout that had fantastic heat and good wrestling. Scott Steiner defeated Kane in 14 minutes 58 by a pinfall following interference from Sting. So he's a liar. He's a liar. He was in the arena all the time, or he was certainly there or thereabouts, and he interferes in this match to help Scott Steiner get the victory. Wrestling rating 73, crowd 88, and 81 overall. And yeah, that storyline gained heat, which is what it's all about. Post match, so we got Kane getting beaten down by Sting. Mark Jindrak and Sean Stasiak come down to sort of help him, and then the Hardy Boys come out to sort of make the save and help Kane. Overall rating 69 for this one. Not great, but we just wanted to get a couple of WWF guys in there. Maybe get a little bit of a rub from Kane and Sting. Same with Stasiak and Jindrak, I guess. Get them in the same angle. Unfortunately, the storyline did lose heat. Really let down what we achieved with the match there. But yeah, we're building stories. We're building people. Let's see what we get overall. 70. Okay, we've lost a lot of pop, but okay, fine. It's still this storyline problem. That will improve. That will improve. It will probably improve in our next cycle of stories. So when the current stories end around about sort of July, August, sort of summertime, summertime, sort of SummerSlam time, and I think I've got one of the stories ending the month after that, so it's going to go on slightly longer. Yeah, the second cycle of storylines will probably, hopefully, a few more people will be a little bit more over, and we'll get something a little bit better. But at the moment, we are just going through the motions, to be honest. Let's see what we've got to do with the post-show shenanigans. Financial report. We made nearly 300,000. Popularity recap. Well, we know we've lost. Yeah, we've lost in quite a few areas. That's a shame. And there's no media scrum, obviously. Let's have a quick look at a few bits backstage. So it looks like we've got a bit of a light bulb there and a couple of emails. Let's have a look at the emails. Chris Jericho thinks Lita is money. Now, I'm not really doing much with the women, am I? I should at least have something. But okay. Right, Lita, think about it. Drug test fees, time to heal for Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly. TNN unhappy. Do you know what? I did this with the WCW save. I mean, just to be safe, I'm probably just going to change the time slot. Ratings will go down, yes, but at least we won't get cancelled, because getting cancelled is the worst thing. So TNN, let's just remember that, and I'll change the time slot to give us a slightly easier task. I know it might be gaming the system a little bit, but the last thing I want to do is get the TV cancelled, and then it just won't be a fun save. It just will not be a fun save for me, and if it's not a fun save for me, it won't be for you. Viewing figures for Raw, okay. Right, let's have a look at the light bulb, unless there's any secrets there I don't want you to know. Oh, incident involving Booker T. What's he done? Identified as a steroid user. Stern warning. Alright, I'm a little bit disappointed in that, actually. That's a shame. Let's have a quick look. I don't really want to look at too much, but our roster, let's... Oh, I've filtered it to the stable. Any in-ring role? Right, so, I mean, we have got quite a few major stars. We've obviously put The Undertaker on a holiday You know, he's been buried. Obviously, he's going to come back. You know, ridiculous to think he wouldn't. The Rock comes back soon. In fact, it may even be in the next couple of days. So looking forward to that. Not sure what I'm going to do with him yet. I mean, the obvious thing would be to have him go into a program with Steve Austin. But do people want to see Austin Rock again? I don't know. Maybe I can't really remember the time. Yeah, doesn't look like there's been many other changes really. I'd like to get a few more WCW guys at the top there. Sting probably will eventually. I would have thought maybe even Kevin Nash and Diamond Dallas Page. Okay, look, a quick look at the storylines. As I say, we're not doing great on them at the moment. Yeah, I'm going to put Chris Benoit in a storyline with Steve Austin. Possibly should have kicked that off on Raw, but I didn't. What else have we got? We've got that one. That's unknown. That's cold. That's hot now. So we've got one. That's cold. A little cold. Yeah. I've called it over the walls because it's kind of like, is Chris Jericho going to be able to get the walls of Jericho on Kevin Nash? It's going to be an interesting one. Take the big man down. A little cold. Wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, we need a little bit more star power. I certainly need to get this one kicked off as well because I think Austin Benoit with Triple H there as well, just for good measure. That should get us a hot something as well. I think that's probably it then for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. I've got a few bits I need to do now. Then haven't I? Get a few jobbers, get a few more jobbers in, possibly tag teams, and get Booker T a photo. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Goodbye.